Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. We are continuing to follow the homicide out of Golden Hills, where a woman was found dead from traumatic injuries. Officials now say the murder suspect was the victim's son, who is now dead following an officer-involved shooting near Primm, Nevada. 23 ABC's Emma Lockhart spoke with neighbors of the victim and joins us live from Golden Hills with the very latest. Emma?
Yeah, I'm just outside of this home on Quail Springs Road, where officials say 55-year-old Guadalupe Adams was found dead with traumatic injuries. But we're now learning a disturbing twist in this killing. Authorities confirming that the murder suspect was her son, who is now dead following an officer-involved shooting hundreds of miles away.
I was looking out the window and I saw the two sheriff cars over there, so I decided to come down, and then I see them putting up the yellow tape, and right then and there I knew something serious had happened.
It all started here in the serene neighborhood of Golden Hills at this home on Quail Springs Road overlooking Tehachapi. But inside, Kern County Sheriff deputies found a shocking discovery Wednesday afternoon. Officials say 55-year-old Guadalupe Adams, an employee at Tehachapi State Prison, was found dead with traumatic injuries. The murder suspect, her own son, according to authorities, identified now as 27-year-old Madison Adams.
Most of the family members started showing up and nobody could get a hold of Maddie, so right then and there people were starting to get a little, scared about where's Maddie? Is he okay, or has he got something to do with this? And your mind starts working.
Although tragedy started at this home, it didn't end here. Officials say Madison drove hundreds of miles away, ending up near Primm, Nevada, where California Highway Patrol found his vehicle on the northbound shoulder of Interstate 15. A high-risk traffic stop turned into an officer-involved shooting where Madison was killed, shutting down the 15 for nearly 24 hours. For now, this house on the cul-de-sac of a quiet street in Golden Hills, a painful reminder of a violent killing. Guadalupe now a mother and neighbor who will be missed.
Very large, loving family. Everybody, all the kids, the grandkids, the cousins, I don't know how many there were, but there was lots. And they were all in shock.
Now, we still don't have any information about a possible motive, and the cause of death for either Adams, Guadalupe Adams or Madison Adams has not been released. That will come at a later time by the coroner's office. As of now, officials say that the 15 has been reopened. It opened at about 3 p.m. this afternoon, and of course we will update you as we learn more on this case. Reporting live in Tehachapi, Emma Lockhart, 23 ABC, connecting you.
All right, Emma, thanks for that. New tonight, the man involved in a crash in southeast Bakersfield that killed a 9-year-old boy appearing in court today. 32-year-old Evaristo Perez Nunez pleaded not guilty to all charges, including felony hit and run. According to officials, the crash happened around 3:30 in the morning Tuesday at the intersection of Cottonwood Road and East Pacheco Road. The driver of the victim's vehicle told police Nunez's pickup truck pulled out in front of him from East Pacheco Road and caused the crash. After the initial crash, another vehicle struck the victim's vehicle on Cottonwood Road. Officials say Nunez abandoned his truck and took off. 9-year-old Emiliano Hernandez is the victim vehicle, died at Valley Children's Hospital. 3 other children ages 3 to 12 were also injured. According to police, when officers went to arrest Nunez and take him into custody, he resisted and assaulted an officer, causing minor injuries. After a brief struggle, officers were able to restrain Nunez and take him into custody without further incident. New details tonight concerning a kidnapping from last month. 23 ABC obtaining new court documents detailing how, after hearing a woman's cries for help, a concerned citizen sped after the vehicle in which the woman was allegedly being held against her will and rammed it with his own. According to documents, the man who intervened in the alleged kidnapping told detectives the driver of the other vehicle stopped, got out, and pointed a gun at him. The concerned citizen hit him with his vehicle. The other man immediately began standing up with the gun still in his hand, and he hit him a second time. Documents also say the accused kidnapper, 21-year-old Fabian Prieto, suffered a brain bleed, pelvic fracture, and spleen injury during the December 18th incident that happened on Highway 178 just west of Bedford Green Drive. Prieto has pleaded not guilty to charges of kidnapping, spousal abuse, vandalism, 2 counts of assault with a gun on a person, and possession of a firearm by a felon. felon. He remains in custody on $250,000 bail. His next scheduled court date is January 28th. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says deputies cited 3 people last month in an alcohol decoy operation. The department says 30-year-old Corey Williams, 56-year-old Gary Beltran, and 22-year-old Joseph Royce, all of Bakersfield, were cited for providing alcohol to a minor. The department said it conducted an alcoholic beverage control decoy operation at 6 locations in Bakersfield. A minor, under supervision of a peace officer, stood outside liquor stores and asked customers to buy alcohol for them. KCSO said the minor indicated to the customers that they were underage and could not legally purchase alcohol. The city of Bakersfield is continuing to grow and expand, thus causing a greater demand for officers. The Bakersfield Police Department says they are in need of more manpower in order to meet demands. 23 ABC's Leslie Gooden joins us in studio with more. Leslie?
The Bakersfield Police Department says that there have been cases where there has been a delay in response time for non-emergency cases due to lack of resources and personnel. Today, I was able to speak with the department on what solutions they are using to solve this ongoing problem.
According to the Bakersfield Police Department, the force serves nearly 500,000 people in the city of Bakersfield with just 370 officers. Despite this being the largest the department has ever been, Nathan McCauley, the spokesperson for the Bakersfield Police Department, says that they are still in need of additional resources.
Hire more officers to be able to, pay them and equip them, and everything else takes money, and that's where that money is coming from, is from this Measure N. It's that the sales tax that was added, that the part there brings in several $1 million more into the city that are used for all of these expansions that we're doing here.
One solution is getting more recruitment and keeping retention rates high. Today, the department is doing just that with 26 cadets graduating from the Bakersfield Law Enforcement Training Academy. And McCauley shares that this class is the first group to go through the recently opened training center, which was made possible due to Measure N funds. And one of those cadets is David Hepp, who says he felt a calling to serve.
When I think about this opportunity, I don't think of it as a job or just a career. It's not only a lifestyle, but it is part of the family. You're protecting the people you love and care about.
Hepp says that he chose to serve here in Bakersfield because this is where he can contribute daily to helping others and a place he calls home. In addition to serving the community, there are several incentives to working for BPD, which includes tuition reimbursement for courses, technology advancement, and a $3,000 signing bonus. But McCauley says that there is a unit that needs the most attention. We
have needs throughout the department, but I think that our patrol units and having more officers available, having larger shifts, more officers to respond to calls, that's going to be what makes the most immediate impact.
The department is expected to have 23 more cadets starting the training on Monday, and according to their 3-year plan, they hope to have 100 additional officers.
And McCauley shares that they are constantly looking for recruits. If you're interested, be sure to be on the lookout for their next available academy session, which is scheduled for sometime in spring. For more information, be sure to go to our website following this newscast. For now, Studio Leslie Gooden, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
A dog lost and injured, rescued and returned to its owner safe and sound. We do have a warning for you. The images in this upcoming story may be disturbing. It is a story that we're working on for 23 ABC News at 6. It all began after that photo was posted of a dog and shared hundreds of times on social media. We're going to have more on how the community came together to help the animal get home. That story and more coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 6.
Well, we have been tracking our latest winter storm that made its way through the region, bringing light rain to us here in the valley and light snow in the mountains. This is snow in Pine Mountain Club, thanks to 23 ABC weather watcher Jennifer Emmett. She tweeted that the snow was falling, not sticking, and about 20 minutes later saw that it was sticking, and that's what we're seeing here. But I also want to show you some video from CHP Fort Tejon Grapevine. You can see they are seeing light snowflakes. This was about 2 hours ago, and some reduced visibility. So if you do see this, make sure that you just be careful when you are driving home due to those slick conditions. But this system did make its way down the state throughout the day today. Once it hit Bakersfield, it really did diminish. So right now we're not seeing much action, maybe some light snowfall down near Fraser Park and Tehachapi. Be aware of black ice as we head into the early morning hours tomorrow. Just 0.05 of an inch of rain here in Bakersfield. But I have more details on the wind advisory that has been extended coming up next.
We turn now to Capitol Hill, where Congress is taking up the vote on a resolution to limit the president's war powers. Democrats are outraged over the president's order to kill a top Iranian general, arguing he didn't have congressional approval and endangered U.S. personnel. ABC's Rachel Scott has more from Washington.
As President Trump appears to halt further military action against Iran, House Democrats are now trying to limit his ability to act unilaterally again.
The president to say, I inform you by reading my tweets. No, that's not the relationship that our founders had in mind.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi putting a resolution on the floor, directing the president to get congressional approval before using military action to strike Iran, making an exception only in cases where the U.S. is defending itself from an imminent and armed attack.
We did it because they were looking to blow up our embassy. We also did it for other reasons that were very obvious.
But President Trump says he will only consult Congress on a case-by-case basis. Speaking to reporters at the White House, the president defended his decision to kill Iran's top commander, Qasem Soleimani. But the White House has not released any evidence to the public that Soleimani presented an imminent threat, and some lawmakers who received a closed-door classified briefing left dissatisfied.
Probably the worst briefing I've seen, at least on a military issue, in the 9 years I've served in the United States Senate.
President Trump brushing off that rare criticism from a member of his own party.
I had calls from numerous senators and numerous congressmen and women saying it was the greatest presentation they've ever had.
The president ramping up economic pressure on Iran with fresh sanctions after the regime launched 16 missiles at 2 bases where American troops are stationed. An early warning system allowed American troops to scramble into their bunkers prior to the attack, resulting in no casualties for U.S. or coalition forces. And Iranian officials say they were ready to fire hundreds of missiles in that counterattack. While the Trump administration says the regime appears to be standing down, they still insist they pose a very real threat. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, local congressman and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy spoke on the House floor today addressing the resolution being voted on that would limit the president's war powers. McCarthy standing by the president, saying his actions were warranted and that this resolution is not needed. McCarthy specifically saying President Trump made the right decision. McCarthy said, quote, United States and our allies are safer with the Iranian general gone. President Trump's decisive leadership was justified and right. Those who criticize President Trump for Iran's dangerous foreign policy should spend a few moments and review their history. Now, the resolution could face a tough vote even in the Democratic-led House, with one Democratic Congressman, Max Rose, also siding with Republicans and McCarthy, saying he would not vote for the resolution, arguing President Trump had the authority to order the strike on the general. Now to the latest into the investigation into the Ukrainian jetliner that crashed in Tehran this week, killing everyone on board. Many of the passengers were heading to Canada, and today that country's prime minister announced he believes he knows what caused the jetliner to plummet from the sky. Video from the last track position of the Ukrainian 737 that crashed in Iran shows what appears to be a missile hitting something in the sky that then erupts in flames. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau becoming the first world leader to say the plane was likely shot down by Iran's anti-aircraft system, killing all 176 people on board.
The evidence indicates that the plane was shot down by an Iranian surface-to-air missile. This may well have been unintentional.
Iranian investigators have cleared wreckage from the site and will examine the jetliner's black box. Some experts pointing out a hole in the fuselage blown from the outside in as possible evidence of a missile strike.